What an unassuming little box. But guys, this holds treasures because these are the newest washi tapes from the Washi Tape Shop, and I'm going to show you all of them right now. So let's take them out of this bubble wrap and let's take this off the table. And oh my god, there are so many. So let's kind of sort them out. These are so lovely. As I said, all of these are the newest releases from the Washi Tape Shop, and this video is not sponsored, but they did send me all of these for free to show you guys. So let's see what we have here. Okay, so I think this is a set, this might be a set, this as well. This is on its own, and there is another set. Okay, oh my god, there is so much. What do we start with? Okay, let's start with these flowers, because these look interesting. There are some flowers with lace. Okay, that's the first thing we are going to look at today. Let's do this one first. So this is pre-cut Floral Heirloom white washi tape. Oh, I see some black lace. Okay, this is interesting. Let's open this. You have to be very careful with this because it very easily lifts the design. Okay, so that worked out. Okay, let's see. This is very interesting, and yes, these are all pre-cut, even these small leaves. Oh, I love pre-cut tapes. So we have lots of red and pink flowers. Also these dark red ones are lovely, and we have these kind of gray lace patterns and something that resembles a butterfly in here. Some kind of half reed. This is lovely. Oh, this is not black. This is very dark brown, and we have lots of smaller designs. This is lovely as well. Oh. And look at this. That's so pretty. There is this black lace, some hearts, and lace flowers. This is also cute. I don't know how this is possible. It's possibly just a design choice, but it looks lovely. Okay, and it is still going. I really love this. This is also interesting. And we have another black one. Okay, I think we have seen these. Yes, so the design loop is long. As always with the Washi Tape Shop, I think it is like a meter long. And I love these. I am already thinking about how and where I will use these. I'm not going to roll this back. Let's see this one as well. So this is pre-cut Velvet Orchard white PT tape. Okay guys, I can't talk today, so just bear with me. So this is a PET tape. You can see that the colors are much brighter in here. That's usually the PET tape thing, that the colors are much more bright, but also PET tapes are more shiny, so it does not always blend nicely with the journal. So that's why I use washi tapes more often. And it's also mostly because when I am filming, the PET tapes can get very shiny. So it's also because I want to make video more enjoyable for you. So that's why I'm using washi tapes. But I love PET tapes as well. And when I have them, I use them. Okay, so this is very similar, maybe even the same. I hope you can see that. But all the laces are white. Okay, that's interesting, and I think they will be perfect to kind of layer together. Yeah, I think it's exactly the same, and it already has a completely different feeling when we have all white. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, that's the same. And I love that. I love this white lace. And I think this would be absolutely perfect when you have a journal with black pages or maybe even brown. I'm not sure how this would look on brown, but I think on black paper this would look absolutely amazing. As you can see, these are the same designs and I love how these look. Like each of these has something that stands out to me. Okay, so it's time to roll them back. Okay, I can't do that. Yeah, so let's do it this way. I have a lot of pain in wrist in here, so my motions today are a little bit slow and maybe awkward, so that's the reason why if you see that I am maybe doing some weird motions, that's because my hand hurts a lot and nothing helps. But I will talk about it, I think, later in the video, because I don't want this to be only the stationery haul. I want to make something, but I can't really do that because of the hand, so we will see what I will choose to do once I show you all of these tapes. Next, let's do this. So this is a full set. This is Vase Medley Washi Tape sticker set. So this will be also pre-cut, which I love. Oh, that's so adorable. Okay. These are 3 washi tapes. They are a bit narrower than these ones. I think this is 6 centimeters, this is 5. And these seem to be kind of watercolory designs. There are lots of flowers and vases and pottery and stuff. Well, it's called Vase Medley, so I guess it kind of matches. Okay, let's see this one. If I manage to open that. I adore these blue flowers and these purple flowers and the vase and these. Oh, that's so lovely. This has pretty fun shape. This, I don't know what this is supposed to be. Have a nice day, but what is that? Oh my, there is a bird on the vase. That is so lovely. So these are pretty funky shapes in kind of this watercolor style. This is the whole repeat, it seems. I love these. They are very summery, which fits the season for me. Okay, let's open this one. These are adorable. Look at it. That's so cute. I have to be again very slow. Okay, perfect. Same colors, which is awesome because you can combine all of these together. You can maybe take a vase and put flowers in that and do lots of different colorful combinations. I love that. Also, I love these kind of more geometric designs next to all of these organic shapes. Oh, so lovely. Look at these bunnies. I think these are bunnies. Oh, that's adorable. Also, there are lots of yellow and orange designs, so I'm sure this would be awesome even for some autumnal spreads or pages. And the last one, I see again beautiful purple flowers. Okay, what did I do? So I have some flowers in here, but let's see the rest of them. I love these. I immediately imagined putting this plant in this vase. I think that's what these washi tapes are for. To do whatever you want, combine whatever you want, make different colorful combinations. Yeah, these are so lovely. These are the purple flowers. I immediately noticed. There is a bit of red. Look at this. Oh my god. Okay, so this is the whole set. These are so lovely, and I am already thinking again where and how to use these. I am not sure yet, but maybe even with some room decoration designs or something. I think this would be perfect to also add to my kind of daily entries, to just add a bit of something to the page, because I love to decorate my pages and I am more willing and more excited to use them when I have some decoration in there. So maybe just like a little pot and flowers next to that, plus some kind of simple washi tape design or some grid or just one colored washi tape behind that, that might look absolutely lovely. Now these, I think, have very similar design. These also seem to be kind of watercolory. So this is my next call. Let's open these ones and let's start with this one because I absolutely adore this design. So this is pre-cut Sunlit Orchard 3 script tape. Okay, so they are called Sunlit Orchard 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so I guess we should start with 1. So let's start with this one. This is also adorable. This reminds me of kids' drawings, but better kids' drawings. I am not shaming kids, like I also did not do like perfect drawings when I was a child. But yeah, these look so adorable, so cozy, I would say. And I love these green colors. This is one of my favorite greens. And they are gilded. There are gold details on these. I am not sure you can see that. Hopefully you will be able to see that once I unroll this tape. Also look at how much there is on these previous ones as well. Yeah, there is a lot of tape on these. Okay, they are washi tapes or maybe paper tapes. The material seems slightly different than I'm used to from the Washi Tape Shop. Okay, let's see what it says. Script tape. Material writing paper. Okay, so you can technically write on this. I don't know why would you, because these are adorable. I did not have writing tape before. It feels like regular paper to me. Okay, this is so difficult to unpeel when one of your hands is not really working. Slowly but steady, I can do that, I think. Okay, first thing I noticed is that the colors are so vivid in here. So vivid. I love these trees. They are adorable. And this reddish, oh my god. I do hope you can see that my camera is focusing. Can you see these gold details? Oh, that's adorable. I love this so much. This is the full design loop. I especially, as I said, I love these trees. Again, I'm not going to roll this one. Let's see all the other ones. Oop! Okay, so this is number 2. We have a little birdie in here and some flowers. Oh, look at this. This is just so adorable. Okay, so we have more trees and more cottages, I would say. This looks very kind of cottagecore. I'm not sure if you would agree, but it seems to me. And it all looks very cozy. I love all these colors in here. And this will be, I think, so much easier to use on the page, especially when you have background, because they seem to be almost not transparent at all, which washi tapes usually are. So when you have a busy background, you are not always going to see the washi tape completely clearly. But with this, you are all set. You don't have to do anything about it. Okay, it gets difficult to unpeel, so I will definitely use rubber bands to close this. This is another washi tape and I just put a rubber band in there so I don't have to bother with these tapes because they are a pain in the butt to unpeel every single time. A house, again, a tree and a snail. I don't know what that is. That looks like potato, but I don't think it is supposed to be a potato. Bird. So this is the full design. And now the number 3. Okay, something fell off. I guess this is the last design. Again, a lot of gold details, lots of cottages and trees. And this is so lovely. And the purple tree, so pretty. Look at this tree. Okay, so this is the full set and I love this so much. They are maybe not completely my style, but I am so excited to use them. Like, I want to use these right away in my journal, even though my journal is completely different theme for June. but I kind of don't care and I want to have them in my journal like right now. So yeah, that shows that I absolutely love this. Okay, so this is a little close-up. Oh, this is my favorite thing of this whole set. I'm going to clear this out of the table, and we have 3 more washi tapes to look at. Okay, everything is just falling, but it's fine. Also, I don't think I have said that, but these seem much thicker than the washi tape. These are different. Like, I don't know how I feel about this. It will definitely blend less with the paper, but if you have, I think Archer and Olive has these extra stark white papers in their notebooks, I think this would blend in there so beautifully. I prefer notebooks with less bright paper, so I might see a bit of outlines in my notebook, but I don't really mind that. So there is just a thought I had about these, and they are absolutely delightful. Okay, I think let's continue with this kind of watercolory theme, because this looks similar in style. So this is pre-cut summer market white washi tape. Yeah, it looks like summer market. I see some vegetables in there. I love the colors. They are so bright and vivid. And this is washi tape. So you can, I think you can see that it is slightly transparent. You can see other designs behind. You could not see that on this tape. So that's the difference between paper tape and washi tape. We have some mushrooms, some vegetables. This is maybe like a fence or something. Potatoes, more mushrooms, a basket. Oh, these are so lovely. I love the colors. Yeah, they are all pre-cut. Oh my god. The dried apples, I think these are. That's absolutely amazing snack. If you have not had dried apples, just try that. It's so lovely. Okay, this is, I'm not sure what, but we have mushrooms and garlic and lemon and chili peppers and cauliflower. Oh, I love the colors on this. And this, so beautiful. Look at that. This would be perfect if you are writing down your recipes to just decorate the page a bit. Or maybe a vegetable summer theme for your journal. That would be absolutely perfect. I can't use all of this in my July journal, so I will have a really hard time trying to choose which one to use in my journal, but look at that. There is so much detail in here. You can maybe just have this tray and kind of put all of these vegetables in there. That might look so lovely. Okay, now the last set, and these seem to be completely different in style. Let's start with this one. This is pre-cut maple cafe white washi tape, and this seems to be full of buildings. Okay, immediately this is slightly darker than all the previous washi tapes and more kind of structured. You have scenes in here, which might be easier to use, and sometimes it might be more difficult to use. Depends on your theme, I guess, or your mood, I guess. Well, on my mood, because some days I can't make a spread. Whatever I do, I just can't make anything look right. And some days it just goes so smoothly. Okay, so we have lots of sceneries and lots of smaller designs in between. Oh, that's lovely. There is like a coffee trailer, a coffee shop. I guess there will be lots of coffee shops. This is like a terrace. Terrace? I don't know how to say that in English. That's so lovely. Flowers and books. Bakery. I think you can build really nice scenes with these. Oh, and I love that we have a separate chairs and table, so you can put that wherever you like. Oh, these are so lovely and very striking in color. I love this muted pink color that is used in here, and combination with this dark red. That's so lovely. And this dark green as well. Yeah, I love this. Oh, look at these coffee cups and teddy bears. Okay, I leave it like this. And now let's open this one. I think there will be characters to accompany all of these. So this is pre-cut journal Nook white washi tape. Will there be something with journaling? Based on the title, I guess, but I'm not sure. No, it does not really seem to be. Well, there is a book or journal, so I guess it makes sense now. I'm so excited. I'm always for a lookout for character washi tapes, and yeah, these are kind of stylized, perfect for, I guess, kind of lifestyle spreads or something like that. Yeah, and we have some more buildings in here. Yeah. Okay, that's adorable. And I love that we have girls with different hair color and different skin tone. We have some roses and okay, there are journals. So I guess the title kind of makes sense. And these rose garland and roses. Oh, these are so pretty. I love the dark color on those. And lots of letters in here. Okay, these are adorable. I love that they are darker in color. I feel like I am repeating myself, but it's true. These are adorable. Okay, so I think that was everything for this haul. Every single washi tape will be linked down in the description if you are interested in checking some of these for yourself. And thank you so much, the Washi Tape Shop, for sending this my way. I so appreciate that. Also, I have the discount code for you guys with the Washi Tape Shop. It is down here. I think it is RyeMi 10 to get 10% off. So you can put that in if you'd like to save some money, and it is affiliate. So I will get a small commission. You don't have to if you don't want to. There is just an option, so I am mentioning that because I forget to mention that I have some links for you guys. I should do that more often. Anyway, let me close this one up. So yeah, these are all the washi tapes and a PET tape. I love how summery and colorful all of these are because I often forget to get colorful stationery. I am more drawn to more muted and darker designs, more like these ones. So having these, I'm already thinking about how and where to use them, and I'm so excited to do so. I was thinking that maybe I could do my July journal setup or something like that. But as I mentioned in the beginning, I can't really work with my wrist. I tried to write a list of stuff to do for today, and honestly, I can't. The pain is just unbearable for writing right now. And I did that myself because I was wallpapering my living room and I strained my wrist so much. So I think that maybe I can show you the footage of that. I know that my channel is not a home decorating channel, but that might be interesting, I hope, for you to see. I also want to make journal entry for that. I think I can manage that. And this is my home journal. I am sure you have already seen that. And these are also from the Washi Tape Shop. I love these tapes so much. So, oh, okay, here is my living room. Well, my aspiration for my living room. This I have made in the IKEA online planner for the layout purposes. And you can see how small this room is, so I can't really do much with it. To be honest, I did not really do anything from this list except this TV table. I bought that one, but I ended up going in slightly different direction. Especially I painted all the bookshelves white because I was so tired of that blue color. You will see that in a second. I will show you all the footage. But this is what this journal is here for me to see, what I liked and maybe what I don't like anymore, and maybe to remind me what I wanted to have in my place, because I completely forgot that maybe I would like to have a tall plant or something in there. but it will have to be, I think that it will have to be plastic, because there are no windows in this room. No windows whatsoever. There are not that many plants that would survive in there. So that's something I have to be mindful about. Okay, anyway, let's start on this spread. This is not what I thought I would be making today, but here we are. And you know what? I am excited about this. I need to somehow weigh this down. I have prepared this kind of list of everything that I needed to do or that I still need to do. We will just go through this list and I will show you the footage that I took, and I don't know. I don't know what this video is turning out to be, but you know what? I'm just having fun and I'm doing what I can. This list is very much inspired by Ariel Bisset. She bought very old house and she's doing this renovation, and in her videos, especially in the older ones, I think, she always writes out the list of everything that she has to do. And she has the old typewriter and she uses that to write her lists. Well, I don't have a typewriter and I live in the apartment building, so if I had that, I think my neighbors would not be very excited about that. So I kind of mimicked that style with just font. When I saw that for the first time, I absolutely loved that idea. So I am borrowing that. I will link Ariel's channel down below because she was the person that made me kind of push myself to finally start working on this living room. Yeah, I just sat down and have written basically all the steps, but not all the steps. We will see. I do hope there are no misspellings, that everything is written correctly, because English is not my first language, so this is kind of stressful to show you the list I have written not in my first language, but everything is fine. So I was thinking, just let's do like something simple like this. Maybe we can even make it some kind of crooked like that. I think this would be perfect to decorate all around. I think that's a good idea. This would be lovely if I was working on something outside, but I don't have outside to my home. Okay, I can't get over this. That's just so adorable. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go with vases and flowers because why not? And I love the colors that are in there. How am I going to do this? I have taken some footage while I was renovating, and we are going to slowly go through that footage and see all my desperation. Because, guys, I was so excited for this project to start, but this project was fighting me every single step. And I'm just so tired. I'm so happy it is done, but I am so exhausted. Anyway, the list. This is printed on sticker paper because that's what was in the printer. And I noticed that way too late. So yeah, I'm going with that. Like, I'm not going to be bothered by anything today because I am in pain. And I am excited to have one day when I won't be doing anything. So, this is the list. Okay, what is the first step? Get wallpaper samples. Yeah, I forgot to film that, but I have them here. So, as you can tell, I was going for a brick on my wall. I would very much have a real brick on my wall, but I knew that would not be possible right now. So, these are all the samples I got. I got them mostly to see the color with my real eyes, because what you see on the screen is not always the same that it is in real life. I got a few. I was really planning on getting this one, but when I saw this and held this in my hands, this is so pink. So I am happy I did not go with this. Also, I wanted to see the texture of this. They are slightly textured. You probably can't see that, but they all are more or less textured. And this one, I love the color, but there is just too much of the white, too much. So I did not go with that either. This was just too dark. I don't know, it looks so much worse when I am holding this in my hands. This, I don't know, this looks like old meat. I don't know. This was not something I wanted to have on my walls. So this is what I chose. It is not perfect, but I like the reddish brown color of the brick. Yes, there is a lot of this kind of concrete or kind of damage to these bricks, but I guess this is the sample of one of the most kind of gray pieces, so I was kind of okay with that. So I chose this sample and then I ordered 2 big rolls, which I'm so happy that I did because the amount of time it took me to match the sides, yeah, that took forever. Okay, so get wallpaper samples. It is done. Okay, so I need a pen. Maybe let's do a red pen. Okay. And I will have to try and do this with my left hand because I really can't hold a pen with my right one. So, get wallpaper samples. Done. Okay, choose and order wallpaper. I, of course, have done that. I was waiting for these samples for like 7 or 8 days, but then thankfully the wallpaper itself, it was ready in 3 days, so that was so much so much better. Okay, next point is figure out wallpapering tools. Like, I ordered the wallpaper and thankfully they had tools on their website, so I put some in the basket and I chose to pick this up in the store so I could ask them if I got everything right, if I need to get something more, and I'm happy to say that I got everything right except one roller. They exchanged that for something else. So yeah, let me just show you the tools because why not? Guys, I have a bucket, a bucket of tools, and most of them are what I needed for this project. So, okay, let me show you. The sanding paper and the thing that's hold the sanding paper. I did go over most of these shelves, I think, with the sandpaper, and it did not help. Like, the paint did not stink. I sanded, I used primer, then I used paint. You will see in a second. So that thing, then I have a couple of spare brushes, a hammer, masking tape, one of the paints I have a bit left off. This is not important. This is the rest of glue I used for the wallpaper. And what do we have here? Okay, this roller thing you are supposed to use when you put the wallpaper on the wall. You scrape it with this thingy. Okay, where is that? This thing, and then you go over with this. At least that's what I was doing. I have no idea if this wallpaper will last a week on the wall. I have no idea. I did what I thought was okay. So this thing is this hard plastic and you just go and push the wallpaper to the wall, and this thing is what's destroyed my wrist because I was doing that like with force on the wall for 4 hours, more than 4 hours, and I was like, yeah, that's fine, like nothing hurt. And next day I woke up and my wrist was in full pain, and it still is. So I am putting cream on that, but it's not that much helping, so I'm trying not to do anything that would hurt my wrist more. So that's why you have this mishmash of a video. Because yeah, I wanted to show you what destroyed me. And I know that if I won't use this footage right now, I won't use it ever. So here we are. Okay, we have this thing. This is supposed to, there is this cover that you take off. This is supposed to kind of like push the wallpaper to the edge, and then you are supposed to go with knife along this, and it is supposed to make your cut straight. It need not help. I was better off freehanding the cutting. I am not saying it is perfect, but I did what I could. I know this is strange that you don't even see what I worked on yet, but you will see in a second, so it will all make sense. And this, okay, this is the paint thing. Yeah, I started painting the bookshelf with this roller, but it was not really working. All these shelves had these streaks of paint, and I put 3 more layers on top of that, and you can see those streaks. So I started with that, and then I used a brush, something like this, but this is new. And yeah, something to stir the paint, and I guess that's it. Yeah, so this is my little project bucket. I guess I will have to buy a new one for when I will sweep my floors, but that's for another day. So yeah, that's my glorious project bucket. I think we can agree that I figured out wallpapering tools. Okay, now get primer and paint for the bookshelf. I did that. I got the paint and then I have realized I don't have the primer. So I waited another week for the primer. That was never ending story. Then I have realized I don't have enough paint, so I bought more. And then I hated how the paint was performing. It was so see-through. So I got a different type of paint. It was a whole ordeal. That took so much out of me. Well, then I disassembled the bookshelf, so I took out the shelves that were in there, and I did try to move the shelf. Well, I think it is the next step, move it off the wall. The whole bookshelf I tried to move, it was not budging. I think it was maybe attached somewhere else on the wall. I managed to unscrew the screws that were on the top of the wall, but maybe there were some others that I did not see. So that was not really possible, and that made my life so much more difficult. At this point, I do have some footage to show you. So let's do that. Okay guys, this is the last look at the blue bookshelf. And honestly, I can't wait for this to be any other color. I just spent a lot of time taping all of the walls. These ones are especially important. These ones, I did not really have to do that because there will go the wallpaper. When I'm looking at this tape, I kind of like how it looks next to the bookshelf. So in future, I might play with the idea of adding something colorful in there. I am not sure what or which color, we'll see. It all depends on how this will look. But I think anything will be better than this color combination. I have no idea what was I thinking, but let's finally paint. Look how amazing this looks. Oh, that's so lovely. And I think it looks better when you put the pot on top of the flowers, so they look like they are inside. Okay, we have a paint. I have disassembled the bookshelf. I did not move it off the wall. It was impossible. So, okay, do I write impossible in there? Okay, so I am a right-handed person, so this was difficult, but it is legible, so I am okay with that. Okay, paint the bookshelf. Yeah, so about that. The second coat is done, and I so hoped that it would be enough, but as you can probably tell, it is so not enough. There needs to be at least one more coat added. I decided that I am doing the third one and that will be enough because I don't have any more patience for that. And once you see the wallpaper, it finally came. I went to pick it up yesterday. You will see that this does not need to be perfect because the wallpaper is not perfect either. So I think with some imperfections in here, it will be totally fine. It is 10 a.m. and I am going to start on the final coat. Also, the paint is very smelly and I've been airing the whole apartment through the whole night. It's like 80 degrees at night, so I am waking in the morning to a very cold apartment, but there is nothing I can do with that. I do hope that few days of the airing out will be enough because yeah, this is kind of bad, but hopefully this will be over soon. All these shelves that are supposed to be in here, I have them on the balcony and I will be painting them there. So at least some of the smelliness will be there. Also, this is quite tall. I am very short, guys, so I have to stand on these two highest steps. I am not even bothered that I am that high, but when I'm standing here, I kind of fear that the leather will kind of break. So new fear unlocked, I guess. Anyway, let's finally start with the third coat. It's 11:37 and I'm done. It still looks awful. I really don't know what I'm going to do. I'm thinking that I will go to town and try to buy different paint because this is not it. It's 3 coats. 3 coats. And it is still, you can't see it as much in the footage, but it is awful. Okay, I went out and I have got this paint. This is different than what I had previously, and I really hope it will be better because on my balcony I have so many shelves. That need to get painted from both sides and twice, at least twice. So yeah, I still have a lot of stuff to do and I really want to be done with painting everything today. Okay, I am preparing to do the last layer and no matter how that will look, I will just go with that because this is ridiculous. This is day 5 of painting. Yeah, day 5. I have spent 5 days painting the bookshelf. The amount of shelves that was never ending. I had the access to my balcony kind of obstructed for the full week because I needed to spread out all the shelves in there. And yeah, that was a pain in the butt. But I am happy I have it done because right now it is 30 degrees Celsius outside. And I would not want to be on my balcony in this weather. So I managed to do that before the extra hot days, but the last 2 days were already quite hot while I was painting. So yeah, that was not good. But everything is painted, so I can cross that off. Perfect. Now, I was kind of excited about doing the wallpaper, but that turned out to be the worst job I have ever done. And I was doing that alone. I was on day, I think, 4 of like really working on this project, and I was already exhausted. I thought the whole thing would take me 3 days. Boy, was I wrong. This is the footage from me wallpapering. Well, I did not even take footage because I was so frustrated. But this is what I filmed. I started on the wallpaper. Is this the best application of the wallpaper you have seen? It is not. And I hate every single second of this. Every single one. So I am not even taking footage because that is just absolutely awful. Also, I could not really see this wall when I was working on this one. So, of course, we are not really aligned, but you know what? At this point, I don't care. These 3 pieces took me hour to do. Hour. I just want to be done. I am done. This took me 4 hours. 4 hours, and I am not even like completely done. I am waiting for everything to dry to cut off this section, this wonky one. I was cutting off everything while it was wet, and it was not the best idea. And honestly, I am too tired. So this will stay for me to deal with tomorrow. And I'm going to drink something, eat something, and I'm going to shower because this was absolutely atrocious. The discovery of today is that I hate wallpaper. I hate it so much. Maybe if I did have like a full wall without anything on it, I think that would be so much easier. But because this you can't move, you really can't move these shelves. Believe me, I tried. So I had to do every single section separately. Then I tried to somehow match each of these sections that are next to each other. That took forever. And these sections there I gave up. They are not matching, but you won't even be able to see that because there will be one more shelf going across. So I am okay with that. This is not perfect, but guys, this is my first wallpapering attempt. So I am taking it because this was so rough. I am curious to see how it will look once everything is in here, all the shelves and books and all of the stuff. Also, yes, this light bulb is absolutely awful. I am going to exchange it for something more warm to create kind of cozy atmosphere. Okay, so let's close that off. And now what I thought would be the second best part of this whole project. The best part is like adding books, adding all the shelves to the bookshelf. Boy, was I wrong. Take two. I've made some progress today. And can you guess how long this progress took? I have spent another almost 3 hours on putting these shelves back in because, as I suspected, because I had to add 4 layers of paint on each of these, the shelves did not really want to go in. I knew that might happen, so I opted to not paint the edge. This was atrocious. Oh my god, I was so excited about this project. And honestly, I am hating every second of this. Every single one. Anyway, the pegs. They did not want to go in. I used drill, I used a hammer a little bit, but I know that there is a small child in the building, so I did not want to be extremely noisy so that she can sleep. But yeah, I had to use hammer a few times. If I did use hammer for the whole thing, it maybe would be much quicker, but yeah, I did not want to be that noisy, but of course there were some words of choice. Anyway, yeah, can you see that? And this, oh my god. I tried to put this shelf in there. When I was taking it out, it was already pretty snug. So I really hoped I would be able to put it there, but I managed to scratch the paint off in multiple places, especially where all the shelves are. There are some paint scrapes. And you know what, guys? I will not let this bother me. I believe that once I forget what everything this thing cost me, like in terms of energy and my mental state, I will enjoy this. So yeah, this is a progress. I don't know what I will do with this. Anyway, I started to put books in here and I am so happy with how this looks. Also, I was able to add one more shelf to these because I did not even bother to add shelf in there. I did not. I completely gave up on that. So I will have to figure out what to add there. In there I have the building from Harry Potter. I was gifted this and it's the 3D puzzle, this like foamy thing. So yeah, I felt like that looks okay in there. And next to that, I put my books. This I have had since I was like 11 years old. Like the number 1 was translated in Slovak when I was 11 or 12. So yeah, these are pretty old. And there is my wand. I have the Dumbledore's wand, not the ugly one with 3 bumps, but the... Okay, let me show you. The one that... Oh my god, that not many people know about. Okay, let me take this. So, Albus Dumbledore. I know that we hate J.K. Rowling, we do, but all of these I got even before we knew who she is. So yeah, I'm not going to throw this away. Also, this was present from my friends, so I'm not going to throw it away. It's so lovely. So yeah, this is Dumbledore's wand that not many people know about, I guess. I just think it is absolutely beautiful. Also, yes, I'm scared it will break because this is pretty thin, so I'm keeping it in the box. Okay, I think that was enough about Harry Potter. Okay, let me just Yeah, okay, that's almost there. I will wait. Yeah, can you guys tell how short I am? Because this, yeah, I had to stand on the last step on the ladder every single time I was working on stuff there. So that was fun. Anyway, this is a quick update, and I'm going to continue and add books in there. I'll see you hopefully sooner than in 3 hours, because this has been a very long day. So I assembled all the bookshelves with some frustrations. But you know what, guys, I am over it. I'm so happy it is already done, and I might just sand all these scratched places again and apply another bazillion layers of white paint. But I think for now I will just let it be, because I am so tired. The main thing is done. Now it is time to add books to my shelves. And guys, I am so bad at this. I can't make it look good. I just can't. And now the fun part, all the lighting, because I had only one overhead lamp in there, and that one, you have for sure noticed, had this bright white light that was not good, not flattering. You could see everything, but it was not good. I was not even staying that much in that room because I did not have a good feeling being in there. I think that's also because of this harsh light, and also because of this brown wall, because what was I thinking when I painted that brown? Anyway, lamps. Okay, this is actually adorable, and this is kind of able to position. Okay, yeah, you can have kind of a standing lamp. I'm not sure if I should do that while it is turned on. Yeah, you could have it like this. Oh, I am loving this kind of thingy that you can step on. I think you can step on that. Yeah, it's so easy to turn on and show you. So yeah, but I would like this to be a bit lower. Okay, how do I? Okay, like that. And there is the another place you can bend this. You can't even see that. How perfect is that? Oh, that's lovely. Also, ignore this. It is there just to protect the couch, even though it needs cleaning. This couch is not even used, like not at all, and it is already dirty. So yeah, I guess that was not the best purchase. Okay, so you can position this. Yeah, whatever. I got 3 new lamps in there. Yeah, I'm not sure I showed all 3, but I will show you in the final kind of look through. Okay guys, and this is the final look at what I have done to this room. And I dare say it's so much better. The second thing I will say is that my camera makes the light very white. It is not. It is very tasty yellow. Let me maybe switch on this. Okay, so yeah, that's what I did. I painted the whole bookshelf and I added wallpaper in there. This is my attempt at styling the room, but I am so bad at this. I have no idea what I'm doing. Like, how do you tastefully drape something over your sofa? Like, I don't know. And this, I spent at least 15 minutes trying to style something in there. And this is not it. This is not it. It is so bad. But you know what? I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. Also, this cable situation, that will get resolved someday. I have this little basket in there. For now, there are only cushions in there because I had no idea what to put there for now. Okay, first thing is this. This is work in progress, but my first idea when I designed this bookshelf, because I designed this and I got it made exactly for this space. So I wanted to have this book nook in there that I could read and spend some time in there. And yeah, that was the idea. But it is wood. So it is pretty harsh to sit on. My butt gets sore pretty quickly. My plan is to buy this foam or something that's thick for it to be like more cozy, more nice to sit on. And also I'm thinking about getting new pillows or pillow covers because like this something is missing. I think dark red cushion would be nice. I have this little lamp in there and another one in here. This one I got from IKEA. I loved this lamp immediately when I saw it. And yeah, it's this very dark red and I love that. And I got this light bulb in there that changes the temperature of the white. I have nice yellow in there. And yeah, okay, let's go across these bookshelves. I don't know how to decorate my bookshelves. I just put stuff there. And this might change with time. I might go over and change some stuff here and there, but I will show you what is here now. So, first thing first is this. I have, oh my god, so much wine. I don't know why I have so much wine when I don't drink. Like, I maybe open a bottle of wine like once a year. I don't know what's happening there. I really don't know, and I have to figure that out. Okay, next. These are books I did not really know where to put. So they're just there. I am, of course, collecting the Dungeon Crawl Carol series. I have only 2 books because honestly, I am buying these books only when I see some of them on sale. I'm not buying them full price because the price of this is ridiculous. And I know it will take me a long time to buy these, but that's fine. I am not rushing anywhere. Okay, this is my old TBR jar. And I would love to get back to this. I will have to go through all of that and see if there is something I have read from there or not. Okay, next is what? There are books with dark covers mostly, or books with dark interior. We have Prošek Hail Mary. This is the Passage in English. I have the whole series. First 2 are in Slovak because I bought that when I was in high school or university. I'm not sure. I guess high school. And then the last one I saw like many years later in the bookstore and I accidentally bought the Czech version. So yeah, that's fun. But I would love to read this series once again. Most of these I have not read yet and I am so excited to do so. But there is just not time, especially when projects that you think will take like 3 days took a month of your life because yeah, the whole wallpaper and paint debacle that took forever. Okay, so the 5th season series, I loved that. The Blade itself series, I loved that. I Would Have Never Known Man, absolutely loved that. And then there are some classics. I hope to read 1984 soon. That's about it. Now in here are all my Terry Pratchett books. I am trying to collect all of them, but again, I am not rushing anywhere. When I see some for a good price, I then get them. There is one more missing that I am currently reading. Okay, how many do I have? 17. Oh, okay. That's more than I thought I had. And just because there was a little bit of space, there is another TBR jar. I'm not sure what everything is in there. I will have to look through all of these papers. And this is the Book of the Ancestors series. I love that series a lot. Okay, in here, this is also mishmash of everything. So we have the Sight series. I would love to continue the series and read the 3rd book finally. And we have sort of Kaigen in here. I would love to have that with my other ML Wong book, but yeah, that looks completely different and I did not like how those were next to each other. So that's for now here. But I have just learned that ML Wang released another book. I will have to check that out very, very soon. Okay, and most of these I have not read yet, except the Starling House. I really liked that. And Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea, I love that as well. We love the many. It was fine, I just did not like the main protagonist. Okay, next we have the Raven Boy series. I still need to read the Call Down the Hawk. That is another series by Maggie Stiefvater, so I'm excited about that. Reformatory, V.E. Schwab pile. I have read these two and Darker Shade of Magic, and I still have 3 books from her to read. Bury Our Bones is also from her, so I have read that. Babel I have read, so this is a little RF Kwang corner. And yeah, I have read all of these. Okay, in there is my castle. I have told you about that already. I have told about this as well. These are boxes I got from my Mellow Days notebooks and I love them so much. They are absolutely beautiful, both the journals and the boxes. Okay, I can't even reach that, but there are cookbooks and history books and stuff like that. And I just wanted to fill the gap, so I put a painting in there that I did 2 or 3 years ago. And under that, there are more kind of these academia books and a book of crime. I have read most of these, but there are still some I need to read. Also, these 2 are puzzles. Here are some of my special edition books. So these are illustrated editions, and I got these 3 from my friends. And these 2 I bought myself. I just had to have this. Blood Over Bright Haven, one of my favorite books. I also got the signed copy of that. I just love this. This book Nook I got from my friends for my birthday, so you can turn it off and turn it on. I love this. It was so much fun building this. Sometimes frustrating, but mostly fun. Okay, and in here we have Veronica Roth books. I love these. They are so tiny you can't even see those on the shelf. And this is, I think, from Illumicrate, and I have still not read that yet, so I will have to do so someday. There are some bookmarks I have. This one is beautiful. This is from Sticky Club, and it is also a sticker, so you can just unpeel this and have a sticker. Or you can have this as a bookmark. I am keeping that there. Okay, this is tiny shelf, just as I had in there, and that's only because I did not want to drill any more holes in here, but I wanted to put one more shelf in. That's why this is so small, but it's actually working out perfectly because I put my Stormlight Archive paperbacks in here. One of them is lent to a friend, so that's why there are only 3, and I did not even get the 5th one, because with the 5th one I get in this hardcover. So then I started getting the rest of the books in these massive hardcover versions. So I don't know, I have this situation here, and you know what, I'm fine with that. I will use these mostly for kind of when I want to highlight sections or stuff like that, or for lending to my friends. And these ones I will be, I think, more precious about these. Okay, and here are some other Sanderson books. I have to, I think there were 4 in this series, or 5, I think 4. I will have to get the remaining ones. Again, I'm waiting for some sale or something to happen. This is in here just until I get the remaining of these books. So this is the Deadly Education series. I love that series so much. And one of my recent favorites, Don't Let the Forest In. I love this book so much. And Night Circus, another one of my favorites. And this is a little red. We bought this with my friends when we were in IKEA. It could have been 10 or 15 years ago. And we all got reds. So he's living in there. And this is a pin I got when I was in London. I think this is from Game of Thrones. I'm sure you know. And down here is the remaining of Brandon Sanderson and Robin Hobb. I know this does not make sense to have Robin Hood in here and Robin Hood in here. I just threw books on the shelf and I want it to be done. I don't care that these are not like next to each other. They are close enough, so I'm fine with that. Okay, and the last shelf is all my art books. Yeah, I have so many and I love them. I love them so much. But they are also very, very tall, so they are quite difficult to store because I could put the shelf wherever I wanted. I made sure that they will fit in there. And they just fit, like all of them fit exactly in this space, which is awesome. Okay, and that's it. Yeah, maybe you have noticed that I don't really have kind of different genres in there. I read mostly fantasy, so most of my books are fantasy. And that's why I don't really need some kind of organization or anything. I try to put series next to each other. That's about it. Sometimes I put everything I have from the same author in the same pile, but I don't really care. I don't really mind if different series from the same author are not next to each other. I don't have that many books, so I mostly know where everything is. Also, this is not all of my books. I have maybe 20 or 30 in the other room, but I have another kind of smaller reading nook in the other room. I kind of wanted to have some books in there as well. So yeah, you can see what my priorities are. I just love reading books, so my whole apartment will be just reading nooks. I guess that's it, I guess, for this space, and I hope it was somewhat interesting to you. Also, this table is absolutely atrocious. I have bought this while I was at university, so that's like more than 10 years old. And I don't have any other thing to put in here because this is quite narrow. If you have any ideas what to put in here, what other coffee table, I would be so excited to hear your suggestions. Also, yes, there is a bit of mess, but I don't care about that. I'm also trying to get a rack in here. I can't really find anything that I would like to put in here. So that's what it is for now, and I'm starting to be happy about this space because I'm still kind of frustrated with how this all was kicking my butt. But yeah, I think it's fine. I think it is improvement from what I had in here before. Okay, and this is everything that I just mentioned. I have not figured out yet. So if you have any ideas to make that room more cozy, I don't think it needs more color. I just need to bring more things that are of the same color as maybe the wall or the sofa. I still have a few things to do, but I think it is already a big progress when you compare the before and after. I think that's a huge huge thing that I did in there. I am leaving this list as is, and I'm going to add more flowers there because I love these. Oh, these two, maybe even these two are enough, but I just want to add more. So I'm doing that. Okay, let's do this blue moment in here. Oh, that's adorable. That's so cute. I'll just do like lots of flowers all around. I have just decided that. Okay, I have to feature this beautiful vase with a bird. That's just so precious. Okay, let's do that. Okay, there is one more. I forgot about this one. Let's add this orange one. Flowers in there. Oh, that's lovely. Maybe one more here. That should be enough. Like, there is a lot of flowers already. But I just love these. I want to just put these flowers all around the page. Okay, I like them here. Okay, that could go here. I have these kind of like clips or something. So maybe we could have a clip on top. Okay, this blue is cute. But I'm looking maybe this. It kind of matches this vase. This is more kind of natural, so it might look cute. I will go with this kind of peg, or I don't know the English term for that, but this thingy, clothespin. Yeah, clothespin. That's so adorable. I guess that's it. I will add a bit more flowers there. Maybe let's do these to the side. I don't want to have two blue flowers next to each other. I will put something there. I will do this. Ooh, I always find something new when I look at this. Is that too much? I guess it is. But in here, it's fine. Okay, let's have this. I'd say this is enough. There is a lot of flowers. I know, but I got so excited about all of these, and I'm so happy I decided to make this page because this is so lovely. Okay, yes, I'm adding one more here. Yahoo! So again, I hope you had a good time watching this video. I know it was different, but I hope you had a lovely time and maybe you got inspired or deterred from doing some renovations. Let me know. Let me know what do you think about what I did with this place. Let me know if you have any ideas about the problems I shared. And let me know what do you think about these tapes. I love the Washi Tape Shop and their washi tapes and PET tapes, so I am very, very excited. They decided to send me some of their tapes once again. As always, everything is linked in the description. This is the page we were working on today. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, for staying to the end. Have absolutely a lovely day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.